Go, finish him off. If you can't do it, then maybe you should let someone who can, like me.
Said to kill the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewiz.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from hunger pain.
That is right. Lay Ill Kid at OneYoungsta. Hold it down. Bring that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of On Screen. We're talking about Star Trek Picard. Thank you for rolling through. If you in early on the chat, thank you for coming through. If you here on the replay, but let me tell you this. Let me tell you something. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Don't you hit that thumbs down. I know you probably feeling it right now. You're like, I want to hit that thumbs down just because you say don't hit it. Restrain yourself and hit the like. Share this to your Star Trekian brethren and sistren, all right? Oh, man. Anyway, what's up, man? Of course, NERDSoul. It's good to see y'all up in here chilling, doing your thing. I missed y'all because last week, you know what I'm saying, getting your Easter on. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I was going to stream on Sunday, but I was like, you know what? Hold up. I ain't gonna do that. People's out here getting their Easter on. I don't want to stop their Easter. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to get into the Easter. But since we're back and we got Star Trek Discovery. Oh, it looked like somebody. Okay. Let me go on and bring some. We got a guest, y'all. We got a guest rolling up in here right now. That's what I'm talking about. We got a guest. I was like, oh snap. Because for a second I thought this person might not make it. I was like, this person just ain't coming. I mean, stuff happens. I was like, he ain't gonna come. But not only are you here with NERDSoul, we are not alone. All right, right over here, the one and only Solar Gray, the cinematic sorcerer.
Hey, what is going on, people? I'm Solar Gray, the cinematic sorcerer, coming at you from the Wizard's Tower. And I wasn't going to leave you hanging. I was just waiting for an announcement for the thing, but my phone was like, no, don't look at me, bro. No, I'm good.
Phone
I'm like, you ain't good.
Nothing, no notifications here. Nothing to see here.
Right. So, yeah, I'm here. And it's good to be back.
Yes.
It is good to have been returned.
Yeah. I'm gonna start it off. I think I'll start it off with a easy question. For you, Solar Gray, and the chat. I'm gonna go in and put up the poll right now. Do you still care, or do you care anymore about Star Trek Picard?
Okay.
Let's start off right there.
All right.
Do you care about this show?
All right. So I'm gonna be real with you, okay? This show reminds me a lot of Walking Dead, in the sense of it gives you something real compelling, and you're like, okay, now that's fascinating. All right, let me check that out. And then it goes, yeah, and then you know what? We're gonna go over here for a minute. And it's like, no, wait, come back. No, I got you. Don't worry, I'm gonna be back.
You'll see that again in 5 episodes.
And when it comes to that, like, you make me, that question makes me think about Picard as a whole, at least this season. And I look at the different storylines that are going on. And it's like, all right, well, I really care about that one. And I'm all right. Okay, I guess. I suppose you could see that coming. Well, it is named Picard. Okay, that's the one I was looking at. And that's what it's like for me going through an episode,
Okay, so I'll say this. Before we get into the full review, and if you're brand new here, thank you for coming through. We just barbershop it here. We're not going line by line or scene by scene. We're just talking about it as if you've seen it, so that's how it is. I'll say this before we get into the real review. We went here last week. I already told the people, I was like, yo, you got to get your Easter on. You know what I'm saying? Get your Easter on. Get your chill on. We're covering 2 episodes.
Okay.
And we've gotten nowhere. Nowhere. I want you to know that we've gotten nowhere. 2 hours approximately, and we've got nowhere.
I wouldn't go as far as to say we've gotten nowhere.
We're really no further along in the storyline, except the very end of the 2nd episode of Mercy. We're really no further along than we were at the end of episode 6. Come on,
okay.
Y'all. Look. All right.
Where is it that you want us to go?
Hold on real quick. To the writers of Picard. Picard is an awesome character. Y'all had me hyped at season 1. I watched season 1, didn't like it, but I was like, hey, look, everybody else liking it, cool. Y'all brought me back for season 2. I was like, I don't want to do this, but I saw the trailer. I was like, you know what? give it a shot. Level with me. Is this some Star Wars stuff where y'all really ain't have a plan? Y'all just had the actor and he was like, all right. Like, level with me. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. Y'all didn't have a plan. Like, come on, JJ Abrams. Let me know. You didn't have a plan. You were just like, hey, we got the actors. So
all right, so
let's do something.
I gotta ask. Are you feeling that on its own merit, or are you feeling that in juxtaposition to Discovery?
Well, not only
gave us
Discovery.
good, and it's like Discovery is like getting a perfectly cooked and perfectly seasoned filet mignon, and then Picard is like going to the Sizzler. Now, if you haven't had a steak in a while, and you go to the Sizzler, it's good enough, you know.
Or you might
when you got like a Brazilian cook in your kitchen. You know, giving you like picanha or filet mignon or a good New York strip. Like that's what Discovery is, you know, and then going to, you know, and Picard is like stepping up to Sizzler or stepping up to that one spot in your hood that's next to Waffle House called Steak House and trying to get, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, so
like I was watching the show and I was just like, I really want to give up. Like I really want to stop. And I was like, but you know what? I'm covering it, so I'm gonna end it. And I know y'all got a third season. I know y'all do, but
I know. It's like, you know what?
I think I'm out for y'all. I think I'm out for y'all. And I was wondering if I was alone, right? So I started looking around online, seeing what's trending, what's going on, what people are hashtagging, what's people saying.
Ooh, that's dangerous, man.
I seem to not be alone on people saying like, yo, where are we going? Like, what? Now, Geeky Andre says, I think you're being too hard on Picard. I think this new episode was good and significant things were revealed and set up. Yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But that was like the third act of the second episode. There's a whole hour and like, I don't know, 35 minutes or something that we just didn't do anything. But you know what? Let's go on and get into review because we do have some stuff. You know what I'm saying? We do have some things that are cool. You know, there are things that are cool. And I ain't trying to hold y'all all Sunday. We got to talk about Young Justice later. I ain't gonna hold y'all all day. But you know, we got Monsters and Mercy. Solar Gray, take it away. What were the things that you really enjoyed about Monsters and Mercy? What were the things that like really knocked you down?
So when it comes down to Monsters, right? It's finally good to see the actress who plays Jurati get to stretch her legs. Because she has been so confined in this small, and I don't mean small as in number of lines or amount of screen time, but small feeling role. You know what I mean? Like, she's been around all over the place. This actress has been everywhere. I think she was in Minority Report as well.
Was she?
I think she was the psychic in Minority Report, like the one that they pulled from the tank. You know,
I'm gonna have to look back on that one. But man, you might be right.
Yeah, because if she is that actress, I know she's got chops. You know, and it was cool with the little, all right, we got to do the espionage thing. All right, we're doing a time travel thing. We need a distraction. And she comes out and she does a little sing-a-sing, and that's all cool. You know, all right, so Monster said one thing to me. Now, and this is going to be shallow, all right? Probably more shallow than y'all used to me being. But there's this thing in Hollywood where if an actress is over 40, she can't be, it's considered that she's not attractive or not sexy. And Monster said, oh, really? And they just said, you know what? We putting everybody on the A game, all right? Jerry Ryan, Raffi, tiny little small girl, don't care who, we gonna put you in some, you know, we gonna put you on some dress. Romulan, who we've only seen kicking around the house, you know. And so it was like, all right, this is good. We get to see everybody, you know, we get to see like everybody cleans up, kind of like the audition for the next show. And so that was nice. That episode brought me a lot closer to old boy the pilot. Rios,
Yeah.
liked him a lot in Monsters.
Okay.
I really did. Once they got him off the ice truck and he was like, I like it here. This is kind of cool. The food is great. I like the music. I like this. And they're like, you met somebody, didn't you? Well, I did. The food is great, and the alcohol tastes different, and this is cool. And fact of the matter is, it was a fun character episode. Okay, and that's really what it was.
Right.
And it was.
If you're talking about, hold on. If you're talking about the party, that's not Monsters.
Yeah.
That's
No, you're right.
That's
so
six.
That's the one that ended with Jurati hitting them streets.
Yeah.
And then she was on them streets.
Monsters is when we're hanging out in Picard's head for the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I generally dislike episodes like that, no matter what the show is. So
yeah,
they already kind of lost me. But I'm only going to talk about good things. I'm only going to talk about good things from here to the end.
Yeah, I was like, okay, look at this. This is kind of a nice reflection to when Picard was captured by the Cardassians, because there's still four lights. And it was like, oh, okay, he's got daddy issues. That's good to know. And then we get Rios actually talking with the doctor, and the doctor going, nah, I got too much. You either tell me the truth or we done. By the way, when I helped your friend, I've used that defibrillator a whole bunch, and it has never, no defibrillator in my entire medical career has actually exploded when I'm using it on somebody. So I ain't gonna believe a word you saying. And it was like, fine, I'll take it on my ship, and that was cool. That was very cool. I liked how they went against trope in that one, where it was like, nah, you got to listen to me. You got to this, you got to that. And since it's set 2 years from now, it's set with today's cynicism, where it's like, I've seen too many movies of people saying, I'm the good guy. You got to trust me. Do you know what neighborhood my clinic is in? So it's like, nah, bro, you got to show me why I need to trust you. So we did. But then we got Jurati out there, or should I say, Queen Regent Jurati,
sort of
out there, and it's like, okay, they're using the adrenaline thing and all that stuff. That's one thing. But I think, and this is the bread and butter, this is what I saw in the writer's room. The bread and butter on this one was the real conversation between Guinan and Picard. Okay. We really got to see their real friendship. Yes, young Guinan. And when Dollar Store Fox Mulder comes in.
I'm not gonna comment, because I said I was gonna say nice things from the
I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of cool. This is kind of neat. And the ending of it was like, oh, and it's interesting. I like the fact that the story progression. Yeah, I like that the story progression is pushing off any resolution, because when you have stories that are based on people's actions and trying to give some semblance of consequence to actions, there's also consequence for inaction. So everything they do causes a mess that they got to spend half an episode cleaning up. And then everything that they don't do while they're cleaning up that mess causes another mess for them to clean up, and we don't get a whole lot of TV shows that are like that nowadays. Most of the time in TV, you get a problem, y'all go on a wacky adventure, maybe have a car chase, you fix the problem, roll credits, next week, more of the same. And this one's going, we got the big overall problem, which is we don't know what's going on with the time stream, followed by, all right, well, everything we do to fix it, we tend to step in something and mess it up. It's like trying to clean up when you're tired. So you end up cleaning that same area 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
In cleaning up that area, you dirty up another one because you're not thinking straight. So I'm happy to see that on screen.
All right. Okay.
And that was Monsters. Now Mercy got me back because I was with you. I was very much with you with the, all right, so now we're introducing an assimilation plot into the timeline, but then we got the Q thing, and now we got the alternate dimensions. I'm like, okay, guys, did y'all just say, what are we doing for this? What are we doing for this season? Well, we got this plot. Yes, bring that in. That too, you got it. But the way that they're working it, this episode brought me back with the I look through everything as though I'm running a role-playing game.
Okay.
And that's where it gets me with a lot of these characters going, I want to do this thing. And it's like, okay, yeah, you can totally do that thing. But how does that affect the overall story that we're already in? Oh, it gives another branch. That's gonna have to be tied up eventually, but I ain't gonna say no. And that's kind of the thing that this is like, because I'm with you 100% in the sense of we got a lot of loose ends by the end of this episode.
A whole lot.
We got Jurati, we got Rios. What is he gonna do with this doctor and her kid? We got we got Q. And we got the Dr. Soon thing going with his daughter. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad they're not focusing too much on Soon and his daughter, because we already went all the way there in season 1. So it's like, we already have that one. So unless you're going to evolve this story arc somehow, or this trope,
and you're not.
But I will say, since we're talking good, when I looked at this, I looked at my girl, who is just as big, if not a bigger Trekkie than me, but a way bigger Brent Spiner fan than me. And I'm like, why is he not cast to play bad guys more often? That performance, him going back and forth between no daughter, I love you, and do you know who you messing with? Back and forth. I'm like, dude, Brent, when I need a mad scientist, like, most of the time I've seen him in other stuff and he was always a little wacky, a little quirky, but
a little wacky.
Yeah, like seriously, in Independence Day, you just kind of looked at him going, seriously, man, get a haircut, get your edges done, maybe get something to eat, just at least some black eyed peas, if not like the whole plate, just get some greens or something,
just a little something.
And but in Mercy, bruh, he went full on like main boss level mad scientist. And
especially coming towards the end. So because he did get broken, because Corey, is it Corey or Corey? Whatever
Corey.
It is. Yeah, Corey. Her name, like, she did kind of break him down at the end, because she's got a point. Like, if I'm everything to you, if I leave, then you really have no, because you based your whole, self-esteem, your whole worth, your whole value in what you've created in me. If I'm gone, what do you have? But now he has something new. Efren Guzman says, do you think Q will make Picard human again? I don't know, but I also don't care, unfortunately. Like, I want to care, but I don't. Even the whole thing is like, I'm dying, so I made all this stuff happen because I'm dying. But I said I was going to be good. All right, so these are things that I like in the last 2 episodes.
Real talk. I think Q is and has always been looking to make Picard part of the continuum. Always. I think that was a thing from day one. And Q was dying. So, again, you want to talk good stuff? The performances in this episode were all the way top notch. Okay. From Jerry Ryan pulling the "she's my sister, we're just trying to get her some help" to "look, we know you, Raffi. You're trying to manipulate people all the time. You think we don't see it, but we do."
It's kind of all you know how to do.
Yeah. And it was really good on the writers to not be like, "and that's why your kids don't want nothing to do with you," type of thing. She was just like, "look, I see you. This is you. This is who you are."
True.
Don't think that we like it. I mean, we like you, but you ain't slick. You ain't slick. We just let you think that you manipulate us into doing stuff, but we only do that when you're correct. So I'm gonna get past this. And Jurati going, "you know what? You're right." And that's what's got me all messed up about our pointy-eared surrogate son over here. And I'm like, cool. All right, I'm with that. And then the two stolen performances. I mean, the two things that made this absolutely worth watching was Brent Spiner, John Delancey. Okay. When Q did show up for that conversation, I'm just like, there you are, man.
And
I could watch a whole show of this.
Of context into, because for people that don't know a lot about Q or the continuum or whatever, I learned a lot. So I did get to learn a lot. But so in going with being good, because I said I'm not going to say anything else bad about the show to the end of the show.
Like, I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying.
I liked. Okay. I liked the. All right, I like seeing young Whoopi, and I like seeing the story about summoning Qs and getting some background between the Elorians and the continuum or whatever.
And the continuum, yeah.
So I like that. That was really cool. Geeky Andre said, every time I see the actor that played Agent Wells, he's always a cop or something like that. I was surprised what they did with him by the end of the episode. So also seeing the way that Guinan was able to talk to Picard, I thought that was cool. I really enjoyed that.
That was shocking for me, because I've been doing this for like 20 something years, and I like the idea of the Elorians are just the people who know and they feel, and I'm like, oh, they got superpowers too? Okay.
But she had to work for it. She's like Ellen Stranger Things. She had to work for it.
Oh yeah, we got the this is a difficult power nosebleed, coined in Firestarter back in like '83.
Oh man, so I did like that. Another thing that I like is seeing the perspective from the father in the memories. Because there's a lot of times when, I used to deal with like after school programs, summer programs with young men, and a lot of times the only perspective you have is this perspective
is yours
from you, and most of the time it's crafted from your mom's, and
generally the perspective from the parent that's still there.
Yes, and many times when those young men, I've had this experience. Other young men that I've talked to have had this experience. When you grow up and you puff your chest up and you go to confront and you find out, so
I didn't have a whole story.
So my mom wasn't always my mom. Oh,
really?
And your relationship with my mom was not my relationship with my mom. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm about 62% less angry at you now, and now I don't know what to do with this anger that I now have for my mother.
But that 38% is real. So, that other 38% is real.
It's not that it's not real, but you're raised thinking that it's all black and white. It's all one person's fault, and nobody else ever did anything, and nobody else was wrong. And then you grow up and you find,
adulthood is complicated.
Oh
crap!
Yeah, and my favorite auntie was all up in their relationship, and you know what I'm saying? There's all these things that happen in real life when it's like. So it was interesting to see. So you were the monster, but actually all this time you weren't, and that was interesting.
It
to
turns
see how
out,
they played
there
out.
was no monster. It's just life is weird. And just because she's my mom doesn't mean she was all grown.
Yeah.
Because she was
or
under
all
50.
great.
Yeah. Well, that it's interesting that we bring that up on Picard's thing. Because I'm like, oh, you had to wait until you were like 90 and in a second body for that realization. But congratulations that you had it. See, I had that thing I had that realization at like 7. You know what I mean?
Oh, see, I had that realization at
early.
like 23, 4, 5.
Yeah, see, I had it super early. Because I found out where babies came from real early. And I'm just like, so wait, you had to do something to make us? And I can do math. You were only 17 when you had my oldest brother. Mm-hmm. And that's only 10 years from now. And I don't know anything. I am so sorry. So who are you outside of mom? And what was up with dad? Like, okay, people become parents just like it was. I learned where babies came from young, and I saw with my own eyes that the teacher didn't live at school.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was like, oh, there's a lot more than I knew. All right. Well, how do I?
It is weird when you're like younger and you see you're a teacher like somewhere or like working their second job.
Yeah.
Or working their second job because teachers don't get paid enough. Because essentially in American culture, teachers are not only teachers, they're a daycare center. But don't get me started.
That's a different show.
We got a different show.
That's for Tuesday night down by the docks. That's a
whole nother show. But I did like seeing the Borg Queen start to manifest. And honestly, since I feel the way I feel about this show, I would love for the Borg Queen to win. Shake it up. Why not? I don't, because I'm at the point now where I'm like, okay, cool. She has a group of little mercenaries and she's going to assimilate them. Great. And I assume that Jurati's dead to a certain degree. Like her body is sort of dead because I assume that what it seemed like she was doing and what we heard that she was doing, that should kill a human body at least this way. I mean, I know the Borg way, but she's doing the low-tech way. If you just drinking battery acid or something or antifreeze or whatever she was drinking, because she had it all over her face, like she ate a whole box of Cheetos
with modern materials. So
so it's Jurati's body should be dead, but maybe that's a problem we can fix when we get back to the future.
Remember, you remember our last review when we're like, don't look too deep into stuff, because I was going off about how a 17-year-old girl who's never left the inside of the house has never Googled her father
or used the internet at all.
So I give a lot of this stuff a lot of leeway because 1, it's TV. 2, my line is pretty far out because it's like, man, I can't. She drank battery acid and she didn't die. I just saw the Batman this week. And the commercial showed us a bomb going off in his face and him getting blown across the freaking room and not one scar, not one burn, not one laceration.
He didn't even take a day off.
Huh?
He didn't even take a day off. He wasn't even like, all right, guys, you know what I'm saying? My back don't feel good today. I'm going to just lay up.
Yeah, he doesn't have the back brace. But yeah, so my suspension of disbelief is pretty far. Because I'm not going to lie, I do enjoy the show. But at the same time, I'm not looking for original, breathtaking, revolutionary. Because I got that in Discovery. I got that in The Expanse. I got that in Foundation. So this is very much like a sit down with popcorn type show. Sit down with popcorn.
Yeah, but I don't even think it's that.
And stuff. Huh?
To take a real quick break from saying only good things, it's not even that entertaining for me. It's not. And that's weird because this show should be like, okay, Lower Decks, on point. Star Trek Prodigy, on point. Star Trek Discovery, having a great time. And then this, I'm like, I don't care. I'm trying, like, I do like the Borg thing. So I'm like, you know what? Hey, have the assimilation work. Have it mess up the future even worse. Have them have us find, you know what? Just throw something crazy at us. Throw something that we don't expect. Because what I expect is by the end, they're going to fix everything. Jurati's going to be back and everybody will be like, whew, thank God we averted that tragedy, and lessons learned. And I'm just like, you know what?
I'll go a step further. I think it'll be Q that fixes everything. They fix Q, Q fixes everything, and we go about our regular old adventures of Picard, or we get more involved with the thing that had potential that we keep turning away from, which is the whole Korath Romulan thing. Like, I kind of like a little ignorant ninja boy, and I'd kind of like to see a little bit more there.
Or we could turn back to the story that I thought was extremely intriguing in the first season, where the Federation had been infiltrated by Romulan actors.
Yeah.
And they weren't like, I don't know, they weren't like the private or whatever. These people were like high-ranking, I don't know, generals or whatever, admirals, something.
We've done this so many times, though. I mean, that was, I wasn't interested in that because it was like, oh, again?
But they just threw it away. That's a big thing to throw away.
Yeah,
but hey, there's people infiltrating Starfleet, so I mean, it's like mad spies up in there. No big deal. All right, well, there's fake people.
Must be Thursday. Moving on.
I mean, they're not fake people because they exist now, so they're like, I mean, they're fake people, but they're not fake people. They're like real people, but they're not whatever they are. They're synthetics.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the real danger. I'm like, well, I feel kind of like the real danger is spies inside of Starfleet, but and then when we played it out, I was just like, okay. So I really want to see how far this board thing goes. I'm excited for that. That's the biggest thing I'm excited for. I don't want Jurati to come back. I want Jurati to get lost, and there's a new Borg queen, and we end with, the future in more peril than it was before, because maybe she kills Q, and we didn't even know Q could be killed by a Borg queen, and we end with Rios, I don't know, indirectly getting that lady and her son killed because he should have never brought him into this. I'd be down with.
You were dark.
Why not?
you were dark. Honestly,
eating cake.
I get a big feeling as to where this is gonna go, and I'm okay with it. I really am. I'm just kind of like, all right, well, see, you brought up all the other shows, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I see, I see all these positions, Discovery is the future that could be, and let's show the best of humanity. Lower Decks is, let's drop you as you are right now onto a starship where you would be on a starship. We got Prodigy with, I guess you could say all of these shows are a different aspect of why the Federation is important, where Picard is it's the control. It's the stock standard show. You see what I mean?
Okay.
And it doesn't really appeal to us because we've grown with it, you and I both grew up on reruns of TOS with Kirk talking about his ship. Gotta save my ship.
Yeah, because you're right. 75% of people say yes, they still care about Picard. So maybe the tweets and the articles that I'm seeing are for people that saw Picard and were like, cool, we're gonna get some stuff that we like never seen before. It's gonna be so great. Maybe they, he tried to get out of the game. They kept pulling him back in, and he had to do, one more time. You know what I'm saying? And what we've gotten is like member berries. So like we're all like, I mean, yeah, I guess. I wonder what people that maybe watched a couple episodes here and there, no big deal. And I wonder how maybe they're loving it.
And they're the ones that this show is really for, okay? The hardest part about this job that you and I do is always remembering that we are plugged in. Like, this was one of the things that I found so
because we probably watch way more than anyone else does.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, this is what I found really important about my relationship with my family. I went to film school. They didn't.
You went to film school.
I've watched 150,000 hours of media learning what quality was, what level of quality was, and I saw the stuff that's not generally available to regular people. And because let's face it, we both grew up in the hood, hoods in different part of the country, but still hoods. So when we were growing up, we were like, yeah, Big's from a little China. That is awesome. This movie that we got from the video store, this is awesome. Look at the way they were doing all that stuff. And then, there's a reason that the valet skit from Key and Peele hit so hard. I mean, there's seriously a reason. And the people who make all this stuff, they're studying like the Coppolas and the Jean Godards and the Bergman movies and all that stuff. And they're looking for different techniques of filmmaking. They're looking for different things of writing. So it's coming at two different levels. So we, as lifelong Trekkies from when we were little kids, trying to figure out how to do that with our hands, we got that mileage. We were watching TNG as it happened. We got to know Picard, However, there was one generation behind you and two generations behind me that haven't had much motivation to go on Netflix and watch TOS, TNG, Voyager, DS9, Discovery, or not Discovery, but Enterprise. We were there the whole time, and it was all new and all fresh to us because we didn't grow up reading The Adventures of Horatio Hornblower or reading The Hardy Boys or reading Nancy Drew. You see what I mean? Like, every new set of media is out there to entice a new generation that's never been, that hasn't been indoctrinated yet. So, if we go to like a high school and talk to some people about Picard, and they'll be like, man, and all that stuff is cool. And the Borg Queen got the thing and all that stuff. And it's like, did you see All Good Things? All Good Things, man. What you talking about? No, man, we got the Jurati thing going. It's like, bruh, the Borg have been around for 30 years now, and this is the Borg that we know. It was, I think it was like 9 years ago. I dated someone. Watch those
old Borg episodes, man. Like, I mean, it was crazy back then, but when you watch it now,
it doesn't. The effects don't hold up. But I was
dating
even
seem as dangerous anymore.
I was dating a 19-year-old like 15 years ago. Okay. And this is important. Like, this is really important because she thought the Star Wars prequel trilogy was the greatest thing out there, and that Hayden Christensen was hot and the movie was all great. I had to sit her down and show her the original trilogy from the 1970s because she'd never seen it. And the prequels came out when she was a child.
So it's like nostalgia for her.
Not just nostalgia. It was the baseline of what she thought was awesome. And fact, the prequels are lower quality storytelling than the original trilogy. So when I showed her the original trilogy that didn't have effects nearly as great, she was like, those were good. Oh my God, Han Solo is awesome. And I understand more about the Force. And Yoda, dude, even old, like I get what he was saying. And I'm like, this is why people that are my age are complaining. You know, that was the whole thing. But she hasn't been exposed to the stuff that we were exposed to. And it's just a different thing. So Picard is out there as a lot of people's introduction to the Star Trek universe. It's like what Stan Lee used to say, you know, every comic is somebody's first.
True.
And every Star Trek show is somebody's first. And at the end of the day, this stuff is a business, just like last week's episode of Atlanta. You know, this is a business. You got to ask why. Why is this out there? And the fact is, Paramount knows they got us. They've had us for 30 years.
Everybody's hood. This is everybody's hood. It's like, y'all didn't disrespect everybody.
Yeah. You know, but yeah, so, but the thing is, they've had me for 40 years. They've had you.
They're like, we don't care about something.
Yeah, no.
We don't care about you no more.
No, they're trying to get your cousin that's 5 years older than NERDSoul Light. That's who Picard is for. That's who Prodigy is.
New people.
Yeah, we need new people that's going to be with us for another 40 years. Because when you die, we going to need them.
But see,
and they kids.
From my perspective, that's what Prodigy is for, though.
I get that.
From my perspective, and Prodigy is awesome. I watched that with NERDSoul Light, and I know it's probably how they say, like, what is it, TVY7 or whatever. But that's at least from my perspective, that's what Prodigy is for. Is to like get them in Picard, at least from the way they did the trailer from the first and the second season, is like, hey, this is for people that know TNG from because this stuff really has no weight on it if you don't know TNG. You can start watching it, but there's gonna be a whole bunch of stuff like, who's this person? You're gonna be the person like asking your friend all the questions. Who's this person? Who's that person? What does that mean? What is it? So at least on its face, it seemed like it was built for, similar to the comment from Joan Robertson. I hope it's Joan. Joanne. I hope I'm not messing up your name. Saying, I think Picard is being written to wrap up the TNG era in a fitting way. I think that's why the entire cast is returning for season 3. So, yeah, in my view, I'm like, well, this is probably for the TNG folks. You know, all the people that watch TNG. Like, I was little when TNG was on, so essentially, I watched it because my mom watched it. And then because there was no other choice, you watch.
Well, mom was watching TV, so yeah. So, you either watch TV with your mom or you go to bed. Take to bed.
Yeah, you know, like watch this or go to bed. So
and Miss Robertson has that is a fantastic insight. The wrapping up of these legacy characters that have been with people for an entire generation. The movies did that for the original cast. You know,
you're right.
And the thing is, and when these new people are watching and going and looking at their parents, like looking at us, going, oh, that was a nice wrap up for Geordi. I'm happy for him. Well, what do you mean? Who is this Geordi guy? Why do you care? Oh, son, sit down, my daughter, and look at Netflix with me. You know,
it's called Netflix, but it's better because there's no commercials and we can fly right through it.
Yeah. And, you know, so again, if this show is being put together for closure, it's doing an all right job. Okay.
Yeah. It's doing all right.
And as far as like the stories that are out there that they're doing, I'm fine with them, but I've got this thing where like my favorite part of a novel that I'm reading is always the epilogue. I don't know what it is. Like I skip, like I'll read the book cover to cover and I'll be like, man. And then I'll read the epilogue. And that tends to be where the writers that I tend to follow really put everything else that happened in the book in perspective. So I'm looking at Picard as sort of an epilogue to the Picard saga, because Patrick Stewart ain't gonna be with us for too much longer. We can already see, you know.
Yeah, we can. There's a couple scenes where you can kind of see he ain't really moving, you know.
Yeah.
Like
you can hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
I am the wisest of the security guards, you know, and I'm cool with that. I'm very fine.
Oh boy.
But we're not gonna be having the Picard that punches his brother in the face and freaking tries to mount and pound in the wine fields. You know, we're not gonna have the Picard with a Tommy gun. You know, no. This is. I'm an old man that talks with people a lot, but I've forgotten more than you've had a chance to learn. You know, and I do love those characters. So I've got to, you know.
Okay.
I got a special place in my heart for it. I'm not, and here's the second thing, and this is something, it's kind of been bugging me since the J.J. Abrams movies. I have never looked at Star Trek for the action. I've always liked the morality play. Like, if I want chase scenes and fight scenes and all that cool stuff, I'll watch Star Wars. I watch Star Wars for the fighting. If I want to see exploration and all that other stuff, okay.
Ever since the original series, there has been action. Ever since the beginning, you know.
What is it just because with all this all or nothing thinking? There has been action, there has been capital ship combat, but tuning into Star Trek for the fight scenes is not exactly something that was done regularly. Like everyone, like you would tune into Star Trek to watch Kirk fight the Gorn. You would tune into TNG for maybe one fight with the Klingon warbirds. You know what I mean? But 90% of the episode was people talking and asking questions about life. That's what Star Trek has always been. You know, where Star Wars is, we got to take down the establishment, you know, and
well, because I mean, in Star Trek, you are the establishment, so
yeah, exactly. And you are the establishment. The establishment is good, okay. So you know, when it comes down to it, as long as Star Trek is focusing on the morality play, the positive aspects of the possibility of scientific discovery, I'm in. You know, it's the one place you go where it's like, hey, look, the future's bright. These people are trying to darken the future from time to time, but overall things are good. And I always dug that. Specifically because of growing up in the hood, because I'm like, you know what, everything sucks and people are fighting all the time. Well, this is a nice thing to watch after a full day of fighting and everything sucking and two of my classmates never coming back to school again. You weren't singing
the song "Everything Is Awesome"? Like,
no, because the only team you could be part of required you to carry an Uzi and have a day job. You know what I mean? So that wasn't neat when you were part of that team, which sucks because one of their colors is my favorite color. So it's like, well, I guess I'm wearing purple from now on. You know, so yeah. So I guess I'll throw it to you for this. Final thoughts on the direction, where you think we're going. We're fast approaching the end of this season. My final thoughts on this season is where do I think it's going? I see it going one or two places. They're going to wrap up everything and stuff is going to get back to normal, or the way that they wrap up everything is going to make them worse, and it's going to require everybody to come back and give that one last rodeo, one last ride. As far as where it's going right now, it's building something. We got a lot of building blocks, and I really think that they're hedging their bets and trying to give people what they want versus the story that they had going. Because what we're dealing with on that in a lot of levels is God, I'm really green today. I'm using a different camera, by the way. Apologies for all this. I'm going through a thing.
Going through a thing.
Yeah, going through a thing. But I honestly think that the way that they got all this jazz set up, where they're forced to write their penultimate episode that's gonna have to have a lot of action, gonna be memorable, which is next week, which is why Jurati and Soon hired all the expendable extras. And
no, not the expendable extras though.
Tell me I'm wrong. Hello, mercenary. This is only gonna sting for a minute. Ooh, but hey, you're SAG eligible now. You know, so they got the expendable extras.
Stand
they
there
got
and look
the
mean.
stuff going, and they know that Jurati is still in there somewhere. So they're gonna give us our big set pieces that we want, that people are used to getting at the penultimate episode now, and then we're gonna go on to the epilogue with what the real consequences and the lessons learned from this season, and then some sort of setup for what's happening next season. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to it because I didn't get a chance to mention my favorite part of the show. My favorite part of Mercy, which was, oh, really? You see that? Yeah, that was me literally trying to obliterate you. And I'm like, okay, so I want to know what's going on with Q. Because John Delancey as Q has always been one of my favorite characters. So I hope he lives. I don't think that he will. And I think he's trying to, what's the term? Press gang Picard into being his specific replacement in the continuum. That's been a thing. But I think that's where it's going. And overall, I think the show is all right. I think it's a nice
Wouldn't
control.
Locutus choose that? I wonder.
Huh?
Wouldn't
No.
Locutus choose that? I wonder.
No, he wouldn't.
I mean,
That goes against everything Picard.
Maybe he'd choose it to get them back to their right time and fix everything.
Could be.
Maybe.
know?
I guess. Sorry. Any more final thoughts? Or you good?
So I think it's good enough. You know, I think this is, like I said, since we don't have any new Prodigy or any new Lower Decks coming for a little while, this is that sizzler I was talking about, because it's still steak. It's still steak.
Strange New Worlds is up next?
Yes, Strange New Worlds. And we're just kind of going, yeah, give me Captain Pike. But simultaneously, it's like, you know what? This is steak. I mean, it's a steak. I'm
excited for Strange New Worlds in the same way I'm excited for Multiverse of Madness, because the name itself says, hey, it's gonna be weird and crazy. All right.
True.
Now, I want to see strange stuff. Don't take me to no planet where it's like, oh, we can breathe the air and people are essentially humanoid. No, get strange. All right.
So you want out of this show what we were promised with Enterprise?
I want to see Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay. Yeah. And it's funny because I'm looking at Strange New Worlds same way that I'm looking at Multiverse of Madness, going, come on, hurry up, get here already. Because again, Picard is like Sizzler. It's still steak. But I've been living off Brazilian barbecue when it comes
Not
to
living off Brazilian barbecue.
Hey, when it comes to Discovery, you know, that's that perfectly cooked picanha. We got Prodigy, which is a good ribeye. We got Lower Decks, which is a fantastic cheesesteak, you know, and Picard is like Sizzler. I mean, it's steak, you know, and it's better than making it myself right now. But yeah, so that's really what it is, you know, so when it comes down to it, like, I mean, it's all right. Since I'm not looking for my mind to be blown, or I'm not trying to find the real meaning of life or some universal truth to really believe in by looking at Picard. Hey, you know how a lot of people are doing, are they look at media and they're like, no, this is life. This is what I can believe in. This is it. This is what I've been looking for. Man, I'm just looking at an old dude tromping through the universe. And, you know, since Doctor Who took that away from me by making him young and good looking, now I got that back. So I'm good. I'm good.
Tyler Bennett says, but is it better than Impossible Steak? I don't even know if Impossible Steak exists. If it does, I mean, go for it. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't had Impossible Steak.
I've been off that red meat for like a year and a half now.
Okay.
You know so I don't mess with that steak. I don't mess with the white man's. No.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, yo, you So to put it in your parlance, it's a matter of like really like, you know, really fresh caught sea bass, you know, from real clean water, and then going to Waffle House and getting fish sticks. You know what I mean?
Not
you know,
fish sticks from Waffle House. Waffle House,
know,
the place where they kill the fly and flip your bread with the same spatula. Oh man. Okay, so final thoughts for me. I just want to see the Borg Queen win, and season 3 being about trying to reverse whatever she did. I want to see her win now. Now that I've seen, let Jurati be bad. I want to see her win. Can I help you? You got final thoughts too?
What's going on, little man?
You got final thoughts too?
Oh, nice.
He came to show off Shadow. Hello, get him. You know what I'm saying? All right, you don't get no more. All right, send us some money.
I guess his final thoughts is Shadow still better than Picard.
Hey, so
from the mouths of babes, man.
Cinematic Sorcerer, tell them where they can find you.
Y'all can find me. Again, I put this out there every single show that I say something controversial. Send all emails, not to NERDSoul, but to backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK@gmail.com. You can also hit me up on the social media that we all have and nobody likes, which is Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. And you can find me Monday through Friday at twitch.tv/BID_P. You can talk with me about stuff on the dark side of the room. I've been kind of dual casting on the YouTube channel. That's YouTube, just look for Solar Gray. And yeah, we talk about nerd stuff, storytelling, and how real stuff doesn't just affect the way that we approach hobbies, but how we can use our hobbies to affect our real stuff and end up being happier people, at least more fulfilled. So that's where I'm at.
All right.
By the way, Tyler Bennett, I see you, and that is an abomination. All right, that is an abomination. There's no beyond Wagyu.
It probably would. They probably charge the same though. You know they would. They charge the same.
Well, you know, but like a Wagyu steak is $130 raw, right?
They probably charge the same. But NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. If you're trying to hear some NERDSoul or see some NERDSoul, it's probably somewhere near you. Just search up NERDSoul, hit like, hit subscribe, share it to everybody. You ain't doing nothing. Sitting on the couch, watch TV. Just share it to your peoples. Nah. So
just put it on the social media that you don't check. That's all.
Yeah, just put it on that. Just be like, hey man, this guy's incredible. Watch his stuff. And people are like, it's not for real. And then next thing you know, I have like 1 million subscribers. All right?
Actually, no, don't be like, this guy's incredible. You should put it with, this guy is so wrong. You should tell him why.
Yeah, you'd be like, I can't believe this guy said this.
Stupid. What's up with this guy?
If you like automatically get people mad, then they'll like click on your video. But then what'll happen is they'll click to the video and be like, I'm not mad. It's a level-headed dude just talking about stuff.
That's what everybody wins. You get the views, and then they get the hits with people arguing with them about how they're wrong. So they blow up and become viral.
No,
you blow up and become viral. You know.
And they tell 2 friends, and they tell 2 friends, and so
exponential. And next thing you know, you're at a meeting in Mexico by a pool,
and then NERDSoul is built, and I'm hiring young brothers and sisters to, do stuff, be on other shows, and building up, but reinvested in my hood. You know what I'm saying? In the real way,
literacy.
In the real way, instead of taking money from the culture that's supposed to be for the culture, and then using it to buy extravagant properties.
But
we'll see y'all next time.
We're all from some hood.
We're all from a hood. Oh man, it's tough out there. So, guys, you ready to go? Bye. Say peace.
Peace.
Say love all y'all.
Love all y'all.
Say we out.
Yeah.
We out, y'all. Until next time, Black
and
Comics, Dope Beats. Holla at y'all later. Peace.
You got to know that if you keep dwelling in the past, you will remain in the past. Can I get a fucking yeah?
Good day, gentlemen. This is a pre-recorded briefing made prior to your departure, in which, for security reasons of the highest importance, has been known on board during the mission. Now that you are in Jupiter's space, and the entire crew is revived, it can be told. 18 months ago, the first evidence of intelligent life off the Earth was discovered. It was buried 40 feet below the lunar surface, near the crater Patron. Except for a single, very powerful radio emission aimed at Jupiter, the 4-million-year-old black monolith has remained completely inert. Its origin and purpose still a total mystery.
You're listening to my daddy, All Gorilla